This video goes out to all the bearded gentlemen out there. This video sponsor Manscaped are offering a limited edition version of their legendary Handyman face shaver featuring a slick gold colorway. Get in before it's gone and get 15% off plus free shipping when you use offer code SKILLUP at checkout. Click the link below to get grooming or stick around to the end of the video to learn more. Oh look, another Battlefield 6 video from ShillUp. Is this guy playing anything else lately? Yeah, I am actually. I played Keeper, Ball Pit. I'm currently working my way through Outer Worlds 2. But I've also been playing a hell of a lot of Battlefield 6. I'm like 70 hours deep now, and I have no plans of slowing down anytime soon. Battlefield 6 has become my go-to time filler, my comfort game. They have daily challenges that reset at 3 PM Sydney time, and that's when I log on. I play for 45 minutes to an hour, get a few rounds in across a few classes and game modes, and I log out happy, hungry to do it all again tomorrow. That's a nice place to be with any game, I think. So I was actually very keen for the arrival of Season 1, codenamed Redsec. Not your typical seasonal update, mind you. Sure, it has a new map, some new weapons and vehicles, and some new game modes, but the headline feature is a free-to-play component that includes Battle Royale, a tactical game mode called Gauntlet, as well as some limited access to Portal, Battlefield's user-generated content platform. That means if you've been curious to see what all the Battlefield 6 fuss is about, but you don't want to spend the $70 box price, now's your chance to check out some version of it for a $0 entry fee. I spent all day yesterday playing through this new content. I put about 10 hours into it, in fact, with the vast majority of my time being spent on the Battle Royale mode. I'm sure that more than a few of you might be wondering if it's worth checking it out, so I thought I'd cover it briefly. TLDR, I like this. I think I only realized just how much I liked it after I wrote this script, and I looked back on it and I was like, wait a second, your conclusion is a lot more hype than your intro. I think it's because Battle Royale tends to kind of wash over us these days since we've experienced so many of them now and for so long. But when I really looked through my footage and I remembered the rounds that I had and the shootouts and the moments, I was like, yeah, nah, this is good. Having said all that, it does feel like this game mode is a foundation for something that will one day be far better. Where the core sandbox of Battlefield feels excellent and unique and earns that only in Battlefield tagline, the Battle Royale mode feels like it's missing something to hang its hat on. While some things like artillery strikes that can collapse buildings definitely deliver some intense thrills that feel unique to Battlefield, and the integration of class traits adds some great texture to team dynamics, the overall package hasn't really landed on its own distinct rendition of what this game mode looks like within a Battlefield context, and if it has, I struggle to imagine that this version will pull many people away from Apex or Warzone or PUBG or Fortnite. Like, I think to myself, if I was going to choose to invest my time in a Battle Royale game, would it be this one? I think the answer to that is probably not, or at least not yet, since other options serve me better, and it does feel like EA have a ways to go before Battlefield 6's Battle Royale is really humming. Outside of that, there are some core issues around things like technical performance, which is pretty shit actually, way worse than in the multiplayer or campaign modes, as well as things like positional audio, resource economy, and the way that Battle Royale challenges have been baked into the core game's progression pathway, pissing off people who paid money for the base game who may or may not have any interest at all in playing something that is very far removed from the core Battlefield experience. I think this commentary is less about the fact that Battlefield 6's Battle Royale mode is bad, because like I said, I enjoyed my time with it and I plan to continue playing it. It's more about the fact that it doesn't feel as must-play as its multiplayer counterpart, and the fact that the competition is so massive and so entrenched that it's going to take more than what's currently on offer for Battlefield to earn a seat at the Battle Royale big kids table. First things first, if you want to play this free version of Battlefield, just search for Battlefield Redsec in your storefront of choice. You'll automatically have this in your Battlefield client if you've bought the base game, but if you're just downloading this, it'll give you access to the Battle Royale game mode on one Californian-based map. It also includes Gauntlet, which is a round-based 4v4 tactical game mode, and it includes Portal tools that lets you remix content based on both Battle Royale and Gauntlet. It is 100% free-to-play, monetized through a pretty ghastly-looking cash shop. It sells skins for your characters, weapons and vehicles. It's all overpriced garbage, but that's how it is for these sorts of cash shops. In addition to that, there's now a battle pass with a free track, a paid track, and a pro track, each providing different tiers of benefits. You really don't need to pay for this, to be honest with you. I got it because EA sent me a pro version of the game when I reviewed it, but it's all just skins and XP boosters. There's no attachments or vehicles or gadgets buried in the season pass. Nothing gameplay affecting, and honestly, that's a really good thing since it could have been very different. One interesting thing to note about all these skins and charms or whatever is that none of them are very compelling, which is a good thing for us, but most likely a bad thing for EA's bean counters, which means it'll probably eventually be a bad thing for us. EA said they don't want to do Nicki Minaj and Beavis and Butthead skins like Call of Duty does because they want to maintain a commitment to realism and immersion, and that's awesome. Love that, 100%. But at the same time, I can't imagine that people are going to be forking out every season for a battle pass that's really only delivering subtle cosmetic rewards. so I do expect these skins to get a lot crazier, or for new types of rewards to be added that up the urge to spend. I don't know, it just feels like the long tail monetization of Battlefield 6 feels like an unsolved equation at this point, and if we know anything about EA, is that they know how to get their pound of flesh, so watch this space, I guess. But yeah, for now, Redsec is a truly free-to-play offering, no strings attached, no harm in checking it out if you're interested. So let's talk about the main draw card, Battle Royale. The first thing you should know is that you shouldn't expect any big surprises. If you've played any Battle Royale before, then you very much know what to expect for this one. You can either squad up or be match made into squads of 4. You drop out of a big transport helicopter, you loot stuff you find in chests, and you gear up while a circle pushes you towards other players. Eventually, it's so small that it feels like a UFC octagon, last squad standing, winner winner, chicken dinner. So that's very much as you'd expect, but along the way, EA have done their best to put their own spin on it, leveraging Battlefield's strengths as much as possible. It starts with classes. Each class is the same as it exists in the multiplayer game with similar passives and weapon traits, but there's an added layer here specific to the Battle Royale mode. For example, the Assault class can naturally capture objectives faster in multiplayer, and here in the Battle Royale mode, the Assaults are able to activate redeployment towers faster, bringing your squad mates back in if they've been downed.
Your reinforcements are on the way.
For the engineer, he's able to use his repair tool to open safes hidden throughout the map. It isn't a very fancy animation, but it gets the job done. Much like in the multiplayer mode, classes also have training paths that progress throughout the match, and you're able to fast track that leveling process by finding intel caches littered throughout the map. This provides a nice little progression bump that feels very satisfying because those training perks can be pretty game changing.
That is a good find on those classified materials. Way to step it up.
The other way that Redsec looks to really identify itself as an only in Battlefield experience is destruction. Many of the buildings you're operating in are fully destructible, so explosives can be a really effective means of getting people out of cover because you can simply destroy the cover. Most impressive of all, though, are the artillery strikes. These are items you pick up and you can activate them at will, painting a distant target so that the area is covered with sustained artillery fire.
Fucking send it.
Roger that. Here it comes.
Enemy contact in my AO.
Without intel,
Contact.
we'll have a
Enemy
better
infantry
idea who
engaging.
these hostiles are. Good work.
What makes this even better, though, is that these strikes are heavy duty enough to tear massive holes in buildings, so simply being undercover doesn't give you the sense of safety you might have hoped for. There are other things that add to this feeling of scale and spectacle. The fire circle is unquestionably infinitely fucking cooler than an amorphous purple haze that gives you a tummy ache when you touch it. This thing will instantly incinerate you if you touch it, and so the warnings that it's getting closer are much clearer with a big on-screen indicator. It also bathes the nearby area in this red glow, and so as it draws closer, the battlefield starts to look like it's almost blood-soaked, and it makes this roaring sound. It's just fucking cool. It has a cinematic quality that really elevates these moments when you're being pushed in, desperately trying to outrun this gigantic tsunami of flame and death.
Thank you so much!
Other aspects of the game mode are a little more ho-hum. Take weapon upgrades, for example. I actually think this is the worst part of the game mode, except for the technical issues. Battlefield is a game where weapon customization is an integral part of the experience, so it's a little surprising then that it's almost nowhere to be found here in the Battle Royale mode. I mean, it sort of is, but the way it works really blows. Instead of just picking up specific weapon attachments that let you tweak a weapon to your preferred specification, you'll pick up different colored weapons with colors denoting tiers and higher tiers having more mods. That's standard. You can also pick up weapon upgrade kits, so if you have a gray assault rifle, you can pick up this kit, open your inventory, press the space bar on your assault rifle and apply that upgrade, which then allows you to choose between potential upgrades, like for example, a better scope or larger magazine size. So while this does get you to the same destination of applying weapon mods, it also feels cheap and gamey and more at home in something like Fortnite than a Battlefield game. I'd have much rather had a bunch of attachments that I can pick and choose from, with me building out an ideal weapon over the course of a game. Right now it feels like I just get whatever I get, and if I find an upgrade kit then cool, but often I don't, and so the overall weapon progression economy feels both unsatisfying and unimmersive. Given Battlefield's extensive history with weapon modification, it really does feel like this color-based upgrade token-led system fails to live up to the legacy of the franchise. Missions are another thing that feel a little flat. The way this works is that periodically you'll be able to accept missions which send you somewhere nearby to complete an objective. Sometimes it's aligning a satellite dish, other times it's finding a set of bolt cutters so you can open up a sealed cache, while other times it sees you hunting down a target player.
You've aligned the antennas. Now go and decrypt the signal.
Thing is, most of these missions feel like busy work rather than actual interesting challenges, and a lot of the time you can get them done without too much hassle from the enemy, where Battle Royale often feels tense and Battlefield often feels epic. These missions feel neither. Would have been kind of interesting if you had a mission to fly a transport helicopter to a specific location, or collapse a specific building, or I don't know, something that feels more Battlefield than just hold this thing and don't move very fast for a few seconds.
Got the beacon. Now keep it slow. Moving too fast breaks calibration.
So that's that ho-hum bucket, but there's also a bucket of stuff that's like, hey, this sucks. Performance is the big one. I run a high-end PC and I play at 4K, high settings, DLSS set to balance. I'm constantly amazed at how well Battlefield 6 runs in the multiplayer mode, clearing an easy 100 plus FPS all the time, even when the action gets really thick. In Battle Royale though, nuh-uh, frame rates dip massively when I'm out in the open. The frame counter you're seeing in the corner doesn't paint the full picture, as it's less about average frame rate and more about sudden dips that just feel terrible. I understand why these performance drops would happen, since you're now rendering a way bigger map with more stuff going on. The fact of the matter is, it's not running well and some performance tuning is definitely needed. Same goes for positional audio, which seems to be the bane of most Battle Royale games at launch. I remember Warzone had horrific positional audio for months after it launched. It's weird because in the multiplayer mode it's fine, but here it's definitely not, and it can be really tricky to accurately hear where enemies are, since footsteps are either too loud or too soft, or they're in the wrong position, or you just don't hear them at all. Finally, there's hit registration, which is a topic that affects the rest of the game as well, and it's been a real discussion point in the community. To this point, it hasn't bothered me all that much because you get robbed of a kill every now and then in Conquest, and then you just respawn and you keep going. But here, it matters a hell of a lot more, and I've already had more than a few engagements where I've unloaded a ton of bullets into a target, and I even started firing before they did, and I still lost that trade even though I was fully armored. Of course, it could be a skill issue. Of course, it could be, you know, weapon drop-off, whatever, but I don't know, there's just this feeling of like, yeah, it doesn't feel quite right. And while I don't have footage of it, there was definitely one time where I died as I moved in behind cover because it took a split second for the shots to actually register that I'd been hit, and then I died behind cover. So yeah, definitely something wrong here. As I said, it's been widely reported across the rest of the game, and it affects things here too. The difference being that when you die in a Battle Royale game, you care a lot more than when you die in Conquest. Outside of that, it does feel like the game mode could do with a number of quality of life and tuning improvements. The pinging system and communication tools aren't very fit for purpose and make it hard to communicate with your squad unless you're on voice comms. There's no solo queue, and I understand why that is because Battlefield's a squad-based game, but a number of people prefer to play solo, so no reason not to meet those people where they are. Vehicles also seem a little weak given how many rockets are laying around, armor plates feel a little too rare, and the rewards economy feels a little underbaked given that it's all just Battle Pass progress, whereas some more rewards specific to Battle Royale enthusiasts might have been nice. On that point, one of the biggest reasons that Redsec is getting hammered in its Steam reviews, it's sitting at mixed 41% right now by the way, is because the Battle Royale game mode has been fully integrated into the broader Battlefield experience. It sits in the same client, and it has a number of challenges that award progress in the Battle Pass. If you want to maximize your Battle Pass progress, then you sort of need to play the Battle Royale mode. Even if you had spent $70 buying the base game and you're someone that only likes to play Conquest 24/7. I get why EA did this, since you want to encourage Battlefield fans to have a crack, but at the same time, the reason your average Battlefield fan spends $70 on a new release multiplayer shooter is because they don't want to play Battle Royale games. If they did, they would have been serviced well enough by the free options. So yeah, I think separating the challenges and rewards track in some way would have been a better call, because this is a fundamentally different offering. But that does cut both ways, because any challenges not tied to a specific game mode can also be completed in the Battle Royale mode. So if you log in for your dailies and you have one that says, you know, get 10 kills as a recon, you can complete that in Conquest or in King of the Hill or in Battle Royale. And that's pretty cool. For the section of the player base who do enjoy both multiplayer and Battle Royale, that's going to give them a lot of choice when they log in each day. Zooming out, the bottom line for me is that even with these issues and complaints, it doesn't change the fact that nearly 10 hours of play yesterday, I was having a great time. It's gorgeous to look at, and the sense of scale that EA has delivered here has the Battlefield community a little mad because they're like, hey, can we get some of that scale over on the other multiplayer maps, please? The core gunplay feels fantastic, hit registration aside. I love the map. It's full of so many landmarks that facilitate different engagement types. I love the integration of class design into the formula. I love the destruction and how it can create both spectacle and outplay options. I love the fire circle. I think it looks sick as hell. And I've already had a bunch of unforgettable moments that made me glad that I was playing a Battle Royale experience in the Battlefield sandbox, because Battlefield moments can happen there just like they can happen in the main game.
Hold on. Hold on.
Overall, I think EA have built a strong foundation here. I don't think what's here right now is going to be enough to snowball it into a massive, thriving player base, but I do think that EA set a goal of creating a competent, robust Battle Royale game mode that leverages Battlefield's strengths, And having now hit that mark, they can turn to more ambitious goals. There's a version of Battle Royale that feels more Battlefield than this one currently does, and it's out there waiting for Ripple Effect to imagine it and deliver it. When they crack that, Redsec is going to be a pretty formidable offering that's no doubt going to pull people away from other games. For now though, it's a solid start, and I'm looking forward to dipping into it from time to time as I continue to focus on the core multiplayer experience. I just hope that when my Conquest queue pops, it won't be for that new oil fields map, because God in heaven, that map is bad. Please delete it. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, have you shaved today? Or at this point, you probably already know this video's sponsor, Manscaped, and you might be like, hey, my balls are already shaved, thank you very much. But did you know that hair also grows on your face? If you'd like to keep it cleanly shaven up there, then you might be interested in Manscaped's legendary Handyman electric shaver. This thing is tailor-made for me since it allows me to quickly and easily tidy up any stubble when I'm out and about, which does happen, believe it or not. I do go outside from time to time. I also do a fair amount of travel, and this thing is fantastic for that. Pop it into your toiletries bag and you can leave the razor, shaving cream, and other treatments at home. It's engineered with a unique dual blade system featuring a standard foil shaver and a long hair trimming blade to handle up to 3 days of beard growth. What's even better is that the Handyman comes equipped with skin-safe technology designed to help you reduce nicks and cuts for the perfect clean shave. The Handyman is fully rechargeable, waterproof, and super easy to clean and maintain. Convenience and reliability are key to everything that Manscaped make, and the Handyman is no different. Best of all, they're offering a very special, very limited edition version of the Handyman for a short time. It's called the Rocket Man, and it features a very smart and stylish gold colorway. Does it do anything new or different than the standard colorway? No, but it looks cool as hell, and at the end of the day, isn't that what really matters? So head straight over to manscaped.com and use offer code SKILLUP to get 15% off the Handyman Rocket Man and free shipping. That's 15% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. User code SKILLUP. Manscaped, shave your balls and your face. God bless you, Manscaped.